In the vast and sprawling union of galactic civilizations, one thing was universally agreed upon: humans, hailing from Earth, were utterly insane. The rest of the galaxy referred to them as Deathworlders, inhabitants of a planet so hostile that it defied reason that any life form could thrive there. Earth was a Class 12 death world, an unstable, dangerous ecosystem filled with aggressive predators, volatile weather systems, and countless natural hazards. And yet, humans not only survived but seemed to revel in their world's chaos. For most alien species, especially those from the Serene Class 2 or Class 3 worlds, survival meant being cautious, methodical, and prepared. Danger was avoided at all costs. But humans, they seemed to seek it out. The first time Captain Growner of the Jukari witnessed it was during a diplomatic mission to a mining outpost on the edge of a dangerous asteroid belt. Growner's crew of cautious engineers and diplomats huddled inside their sleek, shielded vessel, observing with horror as the human ship Endeavor hurled through the asteroid field at reckless speed. "What are they doing?" Growner exclaimed, his four eyes widening in disbelief. His first mate, trembled as he watched the display, tentacles quivering in terror. "Are they mad? They'll be crushed." The human ship dodged and weaved, cutting through the asteroid field with surgical precision. A boulder the size of a small moon drifted into their path, and Growner braced himself for the inevitable. Yet, with a burst of engine power and a flicker of the ship's thrusters, the Endeavor slid beneath the massive rock, its hull unscathed. "They're playing," Zal whispered, his voice filled with awe. Growner's claws clicked nervously on the control panel. No one plays with death. On board the Endeavor, Captain Samantha Cole grinned, her hand steady on the controls. The tension in the cockpit was palpable but laced with excitement. "All right, team, we've got a clear path to the outpost. Let's bring her in smooth," she said, as if they hadn't just narrowly avoided death several times over. The crew chuckled, exchanging high fives and pats on the back. To them, this was just another day. Later, when both ships docked at the outpost, Growner made his way to the human vessel. Still baffled by what he had seen, Captain Cole greeted him with her usual bright smile and extended a hand in greeting. "You must be Captain Growner. Pleasure to meet you," she said warmly, her grip firm. Growner blinked his wide eyes, trying to process her casual demeanor. "Captain Cole, you risked your entire crew flying through that asteroid field. That was being reckless." Cole laughed, a sound that grated on Growner's frayed nerves. "Reckless? Nah, it's just part of the job. We've trained for this. You get used to it." "Used to it," Growner repeated, incredulous. "You could have been destroyed. Why not take a safer route? Why not wait for the asteroids to clear?" She shrugged. "We don't have time to wait for the universe to make things easy. Besides, where's the fun in that?" Fun? Growner had heard rumors about humans and their so-called thrill-seeking behavior, but this was his first real experience witnessing it. He couldn't fathom how a species could treat danger with such casual disregard. Later that evening, the two captains sat in the outpost cantina, exchanging stories over drinks. Growner observed that Cole's crew was the loudest, laughing and joking about their near-death experience, while the Jukari crew sat in stunned silence, still recovering from the stress of the flight. "You have to understand," Cole said, sipping her drink. "Humans grew up on a planet where everything's trying to kill us. If we freaked out every time something dangerous happened, we'd never get anything done." "But don't you fear death?" Growner asked, genuinely curious. "Don't you fear the unknown?" Cole tilted her head, considering the question. "We do. Of course, we do. But fear isn't something we let stop us. It's a tool keeps you sharp. Besides, danger is just part of living. The more you face it, the less it scares you." Growner leaned back, struggling to process her words. The Jukari avoided danger at all costs. Their culture revolved around careful planning and risk minimization. But humans, they seemed to thrive on it, and not just survive, but enjoy it. As the night wore on, Cole recounted story after story of human bravery or madness, depending on how one viewed it. Battles fought against overwhelming odds, explorers venturing into uncharted and hostile territories, scientists experimenting with unstable technologies, and through it all, the humans carried on with an unwavering, almost reckless optimism. Growler couldn't help but feel a mix of admiration and horror. In a way, the humans' fearlessness, their refusal to bow to the dangers of the universe, made them a force unlike any other in the galaxy. By the time Growler returned to his ship, he realized that his species, and perhaps many others in the Union, had underestimated humans. Their approach to danger was not just reckless, it was courageous. It was a defiance of the odds, a refusal to be cowed by the universe's harsh realities. As Growler's ship disengaged from the outpost and prepared for the return journey, he glanced once more at the Endeavor. Maybe there was something to learn from the Deathworlders, something beyond caution and safety. Perhaps, sometimes, embracing the danger was the only way to truly live. And as the Jukari ship took the long, safe route back, Growler couldn't help but wonder if he might ever work up the nerve to fly straight through an asteroid field like a human. Several cycles had passed since Captain Growler's encounter with the humans, but the experience haunted his thoughts. The stories he had heard, the boldness he had witnessed, and not at the careful, cautious nature that had been ingrained in him since his first spaceflight. Could the humans truly be so careless, or was there a method to their madness? Now, back on the Jukari homeworld, Growler's Saturday in the Union Command's Grand Council chamber. The Union had summoned him for a briefing on an escalating crisis, a mysterious and rapidly spreading spatial anomaly. Some kind of interdimensional rift was threatening to engulf an entire sector of space. It was unlike anything the Union had ever encountered. The council members, a collection of alien representatives from dozens of species, murmured anxiously, their voices filled with fear. The anomaly was growing at an alarming rate, and no one knew how to stop it. Even worse, it was moving towards densely populated star systems, threatening to consume billions of lives if left unchecked. The Jukari proposed an evacuation of all nearby systems. One council member suggested, her voice trembling, "We must move quickly and avoid the anomaly at all costs." "There may not be enough time for a full evacuation," countered another. "The rift is moving too fast." Growler remained silent, his mind drifting back to the humans. What would they do? They wouldn't run. They'd do something bold, something desperate, because that was their way. Could it work here? As if summoned by his thoughts, the chamber doors slid open, and in walked a group of human representatives. Leading them was none other than Captain Samantha Cole. Her presence sent a ripple of unease through the chamber. The humans had been invited as observers, but their reputation preceded them. Deathworlders Cell was the wild card in any situation. "Ah, Captain Cole," the council leader greeted her, though with a hint of reluctance. "We were just discussing the threat of the anomaly. We're considering options for evacuation. Do you have any insights?" Cole took her seat at the table and immediately leaned forward, her eyes scanning the data on the holo screen. "Evacuation is not going to work," she said bluntly, her voice cutting through the air like a knife. The chamber fell silent, and all eyes turned to her. Growler felt a strange mixture of dread and anticipation. Not enough time, not enough ships, and if this rift keeps growing the way it is, it'll tear through everything in its path, Cole continued. "You'll never outrun it." "Then what do you propose?" asked the council leader, his voice laced with skepticism. Cole's grin returned, that unsettling human confidence radiating from her. "We go in." The chamber erupted into chaos. Representatives shouted in disbelief, their appendages twitching or eyes blinking in panic. "And into the rift," one council member sputtered. "That's suicidal." "You don't even know what's on the other side," another protested. "It could be certain death." Cole raised a hand, and the room quieted. "We don't know what's on the other side. That's true, but we've dealt with anomalies before. My crews run simulations, and we believe there's a chance that we could use the rift's energy to collapse it. It's risky, but it's the only shot we have at stopping this thing before it consumes half the galaxy." Growler's heart pounded in his chest. It was madness. She was suggesting flying directly into a galactic-scale event, one that could destroy them all. And yet, something about her confidence, Her unshakable resolve resonated with him. Humans didn't run from danger, they ran towards it. Captain Cole, the council leader, said carefully, "Are you suggesting we gamble the lives of your crew and potentially the fate of the galaxy in an untested theory?" Cole met his gaze steadily. "I'm saying if we don't try, everyone in this sector dies anyway. The anomaly doesn't care if we're afraid. We've got one shot to stop it, and sitting here debating won't do any good." The council fell into a heavy silence. Growner could feel the weight of the decision pressing on everyone in the room. Most of the Union species would never even consider such a reckless plan, but humans were different. They thrived in chaos, in danger. This was their element. Before anyone could speak, Growner stood. "I'll go with them." The chamber turned to him in shock, murmurs rippling through the room. Growner himself was surprised by his own words, but he felt a strange sense of clarity. "Captain Growner," the council leader asked, his voice tinged with disbelief. "I've seen firsthand what the humans can do," Growner said, his voice steady. "They may be reckless, but they also have a way of facing the impossible. If anyone can't find a way to stop this anomaly, it's them, and I intend to help them." Cole raised an eyebrow, clearly amused. "You sure about that, Growner? This isn't exactly a safe mission." Growner managed a small smile. "I'm starting to think safety isn't always the most important thing." The council leader hesitated, then let out a long sigh. "Very well. If you believe this is the best course of action, then the Union will sanction the mission. But know this, the future of billions rests on your success." Growner nodded, his mind already racing with the gravity of the task ahead. The humans had shown him something he had never understood before. Sometimes, facing danger head-on was the only way to survive. And now, he would put that lesson to the ultimate test. The Endeavor flew straight toward the heart of the anomaly, its engines roaring as it cut through the swirling, chaotic energies of the rift. Captain Cole settled confidently in her seat, eyes locked on the glowing center of the disturbance. Growner stood beside her, his usually cautious nature pushed to the brink. "This is madness," he muttered, gripping the console for support as the ship shook violently. "Welcome to the human way of doing things," Cole replied with a grin. As they approached the rift's core, the ship's systems began to fluctuate. Energy spikes and spatial distortions caused alarms to blare across the bridge. "Brace yourselves," Cole shouted. The Endeavor plunged into the unknown,